Camera one. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 4.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Sunday Supper. I'm Sarah Taylor, your host, and tonight we are featuring mountain flavors from the Sunday River, Bethel area. Really excited to jump into that. If you are cooking along with us tonight, this is the time to get out your ingredients, get your kitchen ready, and get excited. But first, we always like to just take a moment and remind ourselves, and for those tuning in for the first time, let you know exactly why we are all here tonight. So without further ado, a little message, get those ingredients out, and we will be right back.
We can save the jobs by saving the businesses. That's our mission here.
What's important about Re-Up and the Sunday Supper is it brings a community of some of my favorite chefs together where we can all focus on trying to get some stimulus to the whole industry.
The reality is for restaurants, we are in a situation where the unknown is what's really frightening.
Help us survive. We'll be here for you.
Welcome back to our studio here in Portland. Again, tonight's Sunday Supper is featuring mountain flavors. So we've got some great chef talents, including our main dish chef host here in the studio, who are creating a twist on a normal shepherd's pie. So again, hopefully you've got your ingredients out, but with further ado, I want to introduce those chefs to you now. From the Rooms, 3 in Portland, and the Mountain Room in Bethel at Sunday River, we have chefs Harding Smith and Chef Shawn Doherty. Welcome, gentlemen.
Hi, Sarah. How are you?
Welcome.
So we'll take our masks off now. Shawn and I work together closely all the time, so we're in our own little bubble.
Yeah.
We're making hunter's pie today. Not shepherd's pie, because that would be with lamb. You could use lamb if you wanted to, but it's hunting season, so we decided we would do venison. So that's where the inspiration came. A friend of mine's a bow hunter, and he grabbed himself a deer, and I wanted to have some, and he said, no, I don't have enough. So we decided this would still be a great thing, because hunting season's coming up, it's the mountains, that sort of thing. So we're doing a twist with that. So the first things we're going to get started with, taking off our gloves so no more blood, we're going to grind our meat ourselves over here. Shawn's going to get started with the mashed potatoes. You want to get those in the pot?
Yep. Got some Maine chef potatoes here, purchased right at our local Hannaford. Get some warm water going, a little bit of salt in here, a clove of garlic. Get these all in. These are going to cook for about 15 to 20 minutes, cut about 1-inch dice.
Working with our stove. So with the, anybody has a KitchenAid at home, the grinder attachment is a must-have. You really need to have this. You can do all sorts of different things with it, but you just keep everything cold. Your meat needs to start cold, and your grinder needs to be cold. At the restaurants, we keep all of our parts in the freezer, stored in cornstarch to keep the rust down. You'll see it coming right out there. So you could use any kind of real game meat. You could use lamb, certainly. You could use pork. You could use bison. You could use elk. Anything really would work great. But really, because the hunting season is right now, and there's deer everywhere, be careful on your roads, folks. They had run right up in front of me and my stepdaughter just the other day.
Oh, yeah.
It was like literally right in front of us, in the middle of Cumberland. Jumped right across the middle of the main road.
I believe it. I ride horses a lot, and already for a month I have been wearing my brightest orange colors, as we often do here in Maine. So bow hunting has been happening all this month, but yes, I know it was Take Your Kids Hunting Day just on Saturday, and all through November. For those horse people out there, you know, no more weekday riding. It's Sundays only from now on. So perfect time to feature deer and venison this year, you know, big in Maine. So would love to hear more about the specific ingredients people have got laid out though, Shawn. Can you walk us through some of those?
Sure can. So I'm going to start off kind of left to right here. Got some heavy cream, some Hannaford purchases again, just some tomato paste, a couple of really nice vinegars purchased locally at the Yarmouth Farmers Market. Maker is from the Brunswick area. The company is called Webster McCoy. Really amazing vinegars if you get a chance to
something we're going to be featuring, at the restaurants this winter.
Market. Check out the website. He, I believe, is at a handful of markets locally. Some chef potatoes, also Maine potatoes. Some may call them poor man's russet potatoes. They're kind of an all-purpose restaurant potato.
A little
really
gold in the flesh.
Yeah, really good for kind of a multi-purpose potato. Some flour here for the roux. Got a really nice local cheese curd. That's going to go into the mashed potatoes as well. Finished here with a nice locally made yogurt. A very rich brown beef stock. Some mirepoix here. I'm going to chop that up. That's going to go in as well. And then I have some...
one of the most important ingredients, except for the venison, is probably this right here.
Yeah, these foraged mushrooms, they are called wood bluets. I picked these right from behind my house. You want to check some spots that have a lot of pine duff. And again, if you're a novice, I wouldn't recommend picking anything first of all, but certainly something like this type of mushroom that's a little more of maybe an advanced type mushroom. Anyway, we're gonna add these. It's gonna add a nice woodsy flavor, and yeah,
so lots of local flair you've got there, obviously. And again, folks, if you're not following along tonight, those recipes are all at tastemaine.com. But that is also where you can donate to the Maine Restaurant Relief Fund. It's really why we're all here, right, chefs? Is to support restaurants like yours. We'll get into a bit of what these guys have been going through specifically at their restaurant. But again, we're all here to support Maine restaurants around the state. Tastemaine.com is your one-stop shop for the recipes, to donate to our restaurant owners out there. Apply. The deadline to apply for grants is October 31st, Halloween. So that is coming up. So go to tastemaine.com. Again, any of these recipes, there's twists on each of these, obviously. You can use venison or you can use another game. So get creative, but use these chefs. I mean, they're the experts in the state. So it's truly an honor to be able to get these ideas from you and elaborate on them yourselves at home with your loved ones.
And we're here to talk about fat as well. Very important. A lot of these things have fat in them. Fat is flavor. So one of the things here that Shawn pointed out, we have fat back. So it's the back part of the pig. We've added that to the venison because the venison is very, very lean as it is. So we get a pan, a really nice heavy-duty pan. It's ripping hot, as hot as our stove here will allow us to get. And we folded some of that fat. I ground that while Shawn was talking into the venison itself to help with that because it's super, super lean meat. Just taking that, we mix it together. Just throwing that right together with that. So making your... we're going to add also some dried thyme to this. We season with salt and pepper. We've added, we're going to add a little dried thyme as it goes along. It's already smelling good. It's barely even started.
It certainly is. So obviously, again, folks, deer, local to Maine. I'm sure that deer came from the woods right near you. And the mushrooms, I just want to put out a disclaimer. If you do not know how to forage for mushrooms on your own, do not just try this for the first time going out into the woods. But another amazing, abundant resource we have here in Maine are wild mushrooms. So if that's something that interests you, go ahead and study up first. But I just love to hear that chefs are not only using local from Hannaford, local from farmers market, local from local farms and places like Pineland Farms for cheese, but they're going into their own backyards and using local ingredients to serve you at their restaurants. So let's help keep these restaurants open. Again, tastemaine.com. But so preliminary stages, I just want to make sure everyone is set up for success with this.
We are.
What
So
are we
we've
doing
got,
now?
we're browning the meats. You want to go nice and brown, get some good color on them, so get your pan really, really hot. Main thing is make sure your mashed potatoes are going. You could actually make your mashed potatoes a little bit in advance if you wanted to, because it's going to go on as a crust at the end. So it's going to go into the oven and get hot. So if you want to do that first, even the day before, even use leftovers if you wanted to, and add it to your favorite mashed potato. We like it because we're adding all this cheese and the butter, making a really rich potato to go on the top. Because why not? You know, if you're going to do it, do it.
Why
We've had lots of opportunity to cook at home. I know Shawn cooks at home all the time, regardless. I cooked at home a ton more this year than this past 6, 7, 8 months, just because we've been home in quarantine and so forth. This is the kind of dish that can last. It fills the house full of great flavors and great smells. I'm losing my burner here. A little flare up. It gets that sort of wintry mountain flavor kind of idea to it. You know, it goes with all the beautiful colors back here. One shout out, Mom. These are my mom's flowers right here.
We love you, Harding's mom. So thanks to Harding's mom for the beautiful decor we have. We've got the ground venison cooking, mashed potatoes are going on the stove, and we need something to warm our bellies while we go ahead and finish up this hunter's pie, which we will throughout the next hour with you. But let's go right up to Bethel, where you folks have the Mountain Room, one of their restaurants, and visit one of their neighbors at Brian's, right in downtown Bethel, with owners Jessica and Brian Nichols. Love to see what they are creating with that squash bisque for us. So without further ado, we'll throw it right up to Bethel.
Thank you, Sarah Taylor. Hi, I'm Brian Nichols. I am the chef and co-owner of Brian's Restaurant in Bethel, Maine.
And I am Jessica, his wife. We are still married after all this COVID quarantining and owning a business together. But we welcome you. Today we're going to be making a squash bisque that's going to go great with our main dish that's being made back at the studio. We took a squash and we've cut it up and roasted it. So you want to preheat your oven to 400 degrees and cut your squash, get that in the oven. It takes about an hour to prepare. You're gonna want it fork tender. It looks like my husband pre-seasoned that with a little bit of salt and pepper, which is always important.
All right, so I've got my pan on, heat's about, medium-ish. I'm gonna start with just the butter and the onions.
We have the roasted squash here, which we're gonna take the flesh out of.
Off the skin.
Yep. While your onions are still cooking on that pan. And no worries if you're following along, you can always get the recipe on tastemaine.com. And again, if you have this roasted prior to.
Could do it a day ahead of time very easily.
And I obviously don't belong in the kitchen like my husband does.
It's gonna fall apart, skin gets soft.
But if you've got kids at home, you can send them on this task. All right, what's next, Bri?
All right, so our onions are nice and browned up. Ready for the next step, which will be deglazing the pan with the white wine. Add that right in. Let that come up to a nice boil and just cook it for a minute or two just to make sure you cook off the alcohol.
The next ingredients are going to be the garlic and the fresh chopped sprig of rosemary.
And then we'll go right in with the squash.
Awesome. You can use any kind of squash for this. Delicata, butternut, buttercup.
Pretty much anything you can get your hands on. All right, so we have the onions and garlic, squash, everything in here nice and incorporated. So next will be the vegetable stock. We're just going to pour that right in.
And again, the recipe is on tastemaine.com, so you can always reference that. But I think that this soup is perfect. So it smells delicious. I'm so excited. We're almost there.
So now we're just going to turn the heat up a little bit, bring that up to a nice boil.
All right, guys, so I went ahead and got our immersion blender plugged in and ready to go. And if you don't have one of these at home, you don't worry about it. You can use a food processor or a blender. Super simple, but these are kind of fun, so if you don't have one, you should snag one. But Brian has got the soup. It's all been boiled, and it's ready to be mixed.
Keep it under the level. Have our heavy cream here. Just going to add that slowly.
Smells delicious. It's a rainy day here in Bethel and cold, and we're ready for some warm deliciousness.
All the cream in there. A little salt and pepper. All right, I think you're good there.
All right.
We're just going to transfer that back to the stove. Give it a little bit of heat.
I'm starving.
Bring that over here.
So with this soup, it's so versatile. We're going to garnish it today with garlic croutons, just because I personally like that. But when we're at the restaurant, we sometimes fry leeks to put on top. But you can do roasted pumpkin seeds. You could do crab meat. I mean, the possibilities are really endless with this. So hopefully you can come to Bethel and try it here. If not, you can make it at home.
Oh, it was such a pleasure to spend a rainy afternoon up in Bethel with Jessica and Brian at Brian's. If you are in the area, they are being super COVID safe there. They're doing takeout. There's some safe spots at the bar. Cozy place to chill out for an afternoon. So I highly recommend it, and I highly recommend that Butternut Squash Bisque. Such a warming dish as we head into these cold months. So if you're cooking along tonight, you have got the hunter's pie in working order. Your mashed potatoes are getting ready if they're not pre-cooked already. Your ground up meat is being sauteed with the fat. Yes, you've got all the other ingredients laid out to put that together. And again, the squash bisque, you can use any kind of squash. As they said in that bisque, super simple to put together. Top it with whatever toppings you like, but such a nice treat. Again, great recipes, all available at tastemaine.com, where you can also go to donate to the Maine Restaurant Relief Fund. It's why we're all here, and also why we like to check in on how it is doing, how all of you have helped to support it, as well as our sponsors. And we like to do that with our own Maine boy, the president of OMaine Studios, also the executive director of the Maine Grain Alliance, if you didn't know. That is Tristan Noyes. Welcome back to the studio with us, Tristan.
Thank you, Sarah Taylor. Thank you for having me back. I am so excited to be joining you for a mountain episode. Such a beautiful time of year to head to the mountains. And after you come back, these recipes will be a way for you to still experience the flavors of what's up there. But I get to check in each week and give everyone an update on how we're doing with the Re-Up Maine Restaurant Relief Fund. And I am happy to report we're doing really well. I am very thankful for our sponsors, Hannaford Supermarkets, Bangor Savings, and 8 other incredible Maine companies who have donated to this cause so far to be able to provide grants to Maine restaurants in need.
Yeah.
In addition to the amazing Maine companies that we have more than 100 individuals and families who've contributed at tastemaine.com, which has amounted to $138,000 so far for the Maine Restaurant Relief Fund grant program.
Thank you to all of you. It's you doing this. Awesome.
What that means in practical terms is that we have 27 $5,000 grants that we can award to Maine restaurants. But we have 238 restaurants that have applied so far to this grant program. And I want to put out a reminder, Sarah Taylor mentioned earlier, but the deadline to apply is October 31st, so head to tastemaine.com. It's a very short application. You can fill it out there. And before the end of the year, we want to raise an additional $363,000 to help 100 restaurants receive those $5,000 grants. So we need your help. We need businesses like those who've donated so far and individuals at home. Speaking of businesses that have been doing unique things, Flatbread Pizza Company held a benefit for us on one of their Tuesday night benefits recently. And I wanted to say thank you to Amy Marchesalt and all the staff over there at Flatbread for donating up almost $700 from that just single day event.
Awesome.
Maine Foodie Tours and our friend Pam Lasky has been running an ongoing effort, donating 5% of their walking tours from the first 2 weeks in October.
Cool.
And already that has resulted in a donation of $750 to this fund.
Amazing.
And it's
Fun
still going.
activity to do during the colder months, right? With your family and friends.
It's an amazing
Outdoor
time.
walking tour.
Anybody who's not gone on a Maine foodie tour should absolutely make sure that they do that.
Cool.
And that's a promotion that's going to keep on going through November. And one of the things that I get to be privileged in the privileged position to be able to do is to give some good news when we're all looking for good news. And we're going to be doing that 3 times tonight, giving out 3 different $5,000 grants. So yeah, the first one we're going to award right now, and this is going to Franklin County, and that is to Kewanee Inn on Webb Lake in Weld, which is right there, actually, where that blue heart is.
Kewanee Inn and Restaurant, congratulations!
Congratulations to Thomas, Absalom, and all the staff there. And we're going to go over here and put up our grant. This is our grant board. We've been filling up grants from west to east, and we're hoping to fill this whole thing with these wooden dowels that represent each $5,000 grant that we're able to award. We'll be back up here in a little bit, doing 2 more times.
2 more
So
to give
stay tuned for
out.
more on that exciting stuff. Thank you, Sarah Taylor.
Absolutely, yes. We've got a whole board to fill. That was our 10th grant. So 10th $5,000 grant. We are super excited. Congratulations, Kewanee Inn and Restaurant. Apply at tastemaine.com. The 31st will come up fast to all you restaurant owners out there. But let's get back to the Hunter's Pie. We're here to create some delicious mountain flavors. The studio is filling with the scent of them right now. So Chefs Harding and Chef Shawn, how is it going and what do we do next?
It's going fantastic.
Great.
What we have going on now, what we talked about before, is we're going to brown our venison, which is going on beautifully, or your lamb, or whatever you wanted to use.
Sure.
We put fat in there. We've got dried thyme. We've got some salt, some pepper, obviously. We're going to add a little bit of tomato paste. Going to help give it some body. You'll have to look at your ingredient list and know exactly how much, because I can't recall. So one thing to say about this is recipes like this are really much a guideline. You could do anything you wanted to it. You could add wine if you chose to. You could leave the tomato paste out if you wanted to. All kinds of different things you could do, right, Shawn? I mean, you could do pretty much whatever.
Some beer, some local beer.
Local beer would be fantastic in it. Maybe some Shipyard Finder, perhaps, would be good in it.
Maybe.
So the main thing with the tomato paste is you want to let it cook a little bit, get some of that starchiness out from it. So letting that go around. Then after that, Shawn's dicing up mirepoix. So we're going to have carrot, celery, and onions, kind of the basis of all things that you cook like in a stewed kind of fashion. So we have some diced onions, some diced. We got heat going. I can smell it sizzling. Here
There you
it's
go.
sizzling. So onions, carrots, and celery.
Celery.
The basis of all kinds of things. Soup base, stock base, all that sort of thing.
Sofrito.
Sofrito, exactly.
But all
sofrito.
3 things that, even though they're a basic set of ingredients for a lot of dishes, something you can get at your local farmer's market and still support a local farm,
Absolutely.
even with
Absolutely.
just those 3 basic ingredients.
Absolutely.
And we love supporting local here. Also available at Hannaford. They support a lot of local
And the
farms.
cool
All
thing
of
right
us
now,
are
the
Hannaford.
onions are these tiny little sweet onions because they're farm onions. They don't
Yeah.
grow great big like that. Just beautiful things to have. It's one of the best things about the quarantine and COVID is being able to discover the farm stands that are around the house. You don't even know they're there because you're constantly going back and forth. So we add in our mirepoix like that. Just going to let that sort of stew along for a little bit. You want it basically sweating would mean rather than caramelizing and putting color on it, you want the flavors to exude out of it. Sort of get the liquid out and put that flavor into it. So that's going really well. We've got our potatoes are boiling now, aren't they? They're roaring along.
2 minutes off.
Let's check how done they are. Not quite. Very, very close. Want to
So
cook them to
as
the
you
tender.
stir that up, chefs, just want to check in too on, obviously, for those who don't know, Harding Smith is the owner of, in Portland, for our Mainers out there who know, the corner room, the grill room, and the front room. He owns all of those, including the mountain room up at Sunday River at Peaks Lodge. And again, to support restaurants like his, because all 3 of his Portland locations are closed right now. It just doesn't make sense to open. I'll let him explain further, but he is one of those restaurant owners that could use grant money from you folks. So again, tastemaine.com to go ahead and donate to the Maine Restaurant Relief Fund. But tell us a little bit, Harding, in your own words, your decision to not open your Portland locations, but to keep the mountain room open. What's been going on?
Well, it's if I could describe it without getting choked up, so I'll try not to. It was a
Choked up
gut-wrenching
a little.
decision. We made it in the middle of August. We spent the good part of the shutdown when everybody was shut down doing extensive renovations, things that we take advantage of the situation. We're closed. We're closed for going to be, looks like a long time. So we redid the floors that you'd have to be closed for a month to be able to do. You know, we did that at all 3 restaurants, trying to make them brand new. So when we open, we thought we were going to open in mid-August, that they'd be bright and shiny and sort of the feeling like they're sanitized and they're clean and all that sort of thing. And it got into August. My wife and I sort of figured, we looked down the road and said, well, what's going to happen in January and February? That's the scariest part, why this money is so necessary for people, is because we don't know what's going to be like in January and February. And we looked at, we can make it till April or till spring if we don't open. But if we open, we may make it, and we can't live on a maybe. We know we can do this. So we focus a lot of our attention on doing that renovations and so forth, and then gearing ourselves towards the mountain. The mountain room's going to reopen. We have a separate entrance outside the mountain room at Sunday River so we can be our own entity. They don't have to go into the lodge, just go directly up the stairs to the mountain room itself. We're also opening another place called the Last Run Room down at the bottom at the Summit Hotel. And that's going to be mostly outside. We're calling it the On Snow Lounge. We have a bunch of geodesic dome igloos outside, so you can be in your group outside, totally separated. We bring the food to you and so forth. It's really going to be very, very cool.
And I
Shawn's
hear
gonna be the
that
chef at
Chef Shawn is going to be heading up that new location.
Exactly,
so
yes.
obviously in Maine, folks, skiing is a big part of the culture and a big part of our winters here in Maine. So by all means, you can keep supporting restaurants in Maine by going up, skiing, having fun, and visiting some of these locations that are right on the slopes. Shawn, tell us a little bit about what you're excited at this new location at Sunday River.
Real quick, we're going to add our mushrooms real quick.
Yep.
Boom.
Add your mushrooms. So Shawn, tell us a little bit about what you're excited kind of heading into the winter, some bright light here.
So I mean, this is my favorite time of the year to cook. We get to do a lot of these kind of stick to your ribs type dishes. You know, a little bit of French influence going on, kind of that classic French bistro fare. Really just heavy duty, assertive flavors. You know, things that you can really kind of nestle into and like settle in for the day. And I don't know, those are my favorite flavors, basically.
And Shawn loves outdoors in general. He's been foraging since I've known him since 2004. We worked together for a very long time. He'll find anything out in the woods that's edible. He can just point to it, go, oh, you can eat that, you can eat that, you can eat that. Never even having to go, no offense to Hannaford, not even having to go to the grocery store.
Right.
He would pull it out of his backyard.
I need to go hiking with you, so maybe I could actually leave the woods with a
Absolutely,
meal.
yeah. I may just, you know, do some guided tours and charge a small fee. You know.
That's right.
So this new location of the rooms will be so this will be your 5th The Rooms,
The 5th
right?
room, yep, correct, that's correct.
And we probably have a lot of our viewers out there who are Sunday River skiers and excited for winter. That is one of our main activities we can keep doing no matter a pandemic or not. So just throw out a little, remind me where that new location is going to be. So for those of you heading up to Sunday River, listen to this and go warm yourself on the slopes at the
Last Run Room.
Last Run Room.
and On Snow Lounge. So it's at the bottom, it's the Summit Hotel, at the bottom of Moonstruck, Little Lift we like to call it. It's in the ski in, ski out area. So you ski down, take your skis off, the host will greet you, and you get taken to your hut or to your fire pit or wherever it should be. It's going to be really very, very fun. But the neat thing about it is you don't have to ski to be there. Actually, some of our older skiers, Joe, I won't say your name, are very excited because I don't have to ski. I could just go there now. So I might take a run or two, but it's that last run we don't have to take. That's sort of where the name came up. It's the last run. You're already down now.
Yeah.
Now you can enjoy yourself a little bit more responsibly, of course.
What are the operating hours going to be?
That is yet to remain determined exactly. We're going to be open from at least noon to 8 on Fridays and Saturdays, and then also on Thursdays and also on Sundays. But we're going to sort of play it out. It's all new. It changes every day. Everything in the restaurant industry changes every day, and it's no different up at Sunday River.
Yeah.
So we're going to play it by ear, but we're going with it. Hopefully we can get about 50 to 60 people sat at once.
Right.
It's a really cool food that Shawn and I are coming up with. It's going to be lots and lots of big flavor.
Yes, that's you.
So I definitely want to make sure our cooks at home know exactly where we're at with the recipe.
So where we're at,
as
I've
well.
had the mushrooms in here. Shawn's beautiful, wood bullets?
Wood bluets.
Wood bluets.
Right.
Because
have
they're
kind of an
blue.
anise flavor.
Show them what that looks like.
Yeah, so
look at
that's-
this thing.
This is on the larger side. You know, it's got a good weight to it. Again, I picked these just yesterday, so they're still nice and vibrant. Good amount of water in here. We're going to want to cook all that moisture out before we go and add the flour. So that's what's simmering down now.
Right, so the water's all cooked out now. We've added in the flour. This sort of, instead of making a roux, like you would make separately with butter and flour or some sort of fat and flour, we're taking the fat that rendered out of the venison that we cooked, and using that to kind of combine. But you always want to make sure after you add your flour, let it cook for a little bit. That gets that starchy flavor out so it doesn't taste like a flour ball.
Exactly.
So we've got that going. That just absolutely smells amazing.
It is smelling amazing.
So then,
here.
as far as the broth goes, we've obviously made stock. This stock, I can't remember what stock this was. This came from the freezer from one of the restaurants, to be perfectly honest.
Beef stock, reduced
Beef stock. It's just got great body to it. Or you can use bone broth like the recipe says. You can buy that at Hannaford. I highly suggest go to the organic section at Hannaford and buy your bone broth. If you read the ingredients on something you're going to buy in the non-organic section, there's a lot of ingredients.
Yeah.
You read the other ingredients on the bone broth that's organic, there's very few ingredients.
Very few.
That's what you want. You don't want this high sodium, you don't want all this stuff
low
added
sodium.
to it. Really, and if you're using collagen, get it? Collagen, because we're using it because it has collagen in it. You want to use the low sodium if you're using that one. So you can see how it's got a little thickness to it right there.
Oh yeah,
Right.
thickening up. Looking more like a hunter's pie,
Right.
if you will.
And then we're going to add our couple of cups of broth.
Remember too, you want to be seasoning as you go along.
Season all the stages. 'Cause you're
And
building a base. That's what the mirepoix is. It builds that base and so forth. Oh, that looks so incredible.
And once it gets to that right consistency, everything we see in front of you, Shawn, kind of happens after we take another step, correct?
Yes,
Right.
this is going to sit. It's just going to kind of kick it up again before we get the potatoes on top.
Amazing. So everyone at home, you've got the steps to kind of be putting this hunter's pie together at this level. But
also taste in every section, please.
and
Please
taste,
it.
yes.
Check
Keep
the
tasting, keep spicing, keep adding broth, it looks like. But without further ado, we also want to break away. And I know myself, without the plethora of culinary skills like the chefs we work with,
Hi, I'm Deb Webster.
time of day during any season, but especially going into these cold months, you are going to love this segment, folks. This is 4 appetizer board ideas from the cheese and charcuterie experts from Hannaford Supermarkets. 4 incredible ideas to put these things together to prepare as a happy hour for this meal or any other meal. So fun ideas coming up. Get the kids. These are creative things to put together. And let's start right over to those experts at Hannaford's for those 4 appetizer board ideas. Ladies.
Hi, I'm Deb Webster. I am Hannaford's certified cheese professional.
Hi, and I'm Tonya Morris, and I am Hannaford's analyst for charcuterie and olives.
As you've noticed, we've taken our masks off, but Tonya and I work very closely together on the deli team, and we're also good friends.
And Hannaford is really excited to be here to support Sunday Supper and to offer you some choices on your appetizer boards.
I know there's a lot going on here, but we're going to break this all down for you. We have 4 differently themed boards here, and all the recipes will be available on tastemaine.com. So all of these are New England-based cheeses. I'm going to start with our blue cheese that we have from Great Hill Blue Farm, which is in Massachusetts, down towards Cape Cod. It's a raw milk blue, really, really smooth, creamy, and delicious. We also have Mini Kunik, which is a cheese that is out of our New York, Glenville area. This is our Boggy Meadow Swiss cheese, a really nice, creamy, mild Swiss. And that is out of New Hampshire.
And also to complement that, we have Short Creek Farm Salumi, and that is also out of New Hampshire. It's got a great spicy fennel taste that goes fantastic with any type of Swiss.
Nice balance there.
Really good.
The next cheese is from Vermont Farmstead. It is Lillet, wonderful brie cheese. It's actually called a Coulommiers because of the shape of it. And in the middle here, we have also from Vermont, Jasper Hill Cave-Aged Cheddar. From our great partners at Pineland Farms Dairy, we have their award-winning Colby Jack, very mild, meltable cheese. And also from Pineland Farms, buffalo cheese curds, a great spicy addition to this cheese board. Lastly, we have from Seal Cove Farm in Lemoyne, Maine, an herbed chev, great, lovely goat cheese.
And then we also have a Maine charcuterie called Singing Pastures. They are out of Newcastle, Maine.
And to pair with these, for a little crunch and serving, we also have Mill Cove crackers out of the Portland area, and Maine crisps, which are out of the Waterville area. So this is our Alpine appetizer board. easy to make, actually really fun to make. Have fun when you're sprinkling in different colors, different flavors, different accoutrements, and just make sure that the cheese and charcuterie are still stars of the board. The king of cheeses, the Parmigiano Reggiano, is 24-month aged, so it has those nice crystalline crystals that give that little bite of an aged cheese. Because it comes from the Parma region, it actually pairs well with something that Tonya has to talk about.
Well, we also have the Prosciutto De Palma, so that is considered the king of the charcuterie world. What makes it special is that the hogs are actually fed the whey from the Parmigiano Reggiano, so it has that great nutty, buttery flavor, and it's very smooth. It does need to be sliced paper thin, but boy, is it delicious.
So also on the board, we have Taleggio cheese, which is a wash rind cheese, also from Italy. Iberico, a mixed milk cheese from Spain, made from sheep, goat, and cow's milk.
That's really good.
It's really good. Also, we have a fondue recipe that we're going to have available on tastemaine.com. It's actually a takeoff of one of David Turin's recipes. A lot of fun to do, especially with kids. You can do cheese, or you can actually do chocolate. And use many different vehicles, whether it's bread or meats or fruits, to enjoy the fondue. So the contemporary board that we have, how fun is this? Using all sorts of different colored cheeses, kind of to brighten up these dark winter months that are looming ahead of us. Brought in a red Leicester cheese from England called Red Fox from Belton Farms. Again, that aged cheese that has those little crystal bites in it. Next to that, we have the Merlot Bella Vitano, an Italian-style Asiago cheese.
Huge hit. Oh, huge hit.
Very good. Anything that's soaked in Merlot is
you can't
great.
go wrong.
Beside that is the Huntsman, also from England. It is double Gloucester cheese, a nice creamy cheddary cheese with Stilton in layers. And then obviously in the middle, our green cheese is a green pesto Gouda from the Netherlands. Really bright flavor of that pesto shines through and is really a complement to meats and crackers, breads and fruits. Again, have fun with how you create your board. Rummage through your house and find some unique vessels to use on the cheese board, flower pots or ramekins. And remember that all of these ingredients and the recipes for these cheese boards can be found at tastemaine.com. And speaking of taste, bon appetit.
Aren't those 4 cool ideas for appetizer boards? I just love it. And, you know, a pleasure to shoot with both Tonya and Deb. So thank you for spending the time with us. To those Hannaford experts, appreciate it. So again, to summarize, folks, if you've been cooking along at home, we are working on a hunter's pie over here to my right here at the studio with venison or whatever wild game you have chosen. It is hunting season in Maine. So hopefully you are working around that with that hunter's pie. You're using fresh, local Maine ingredients, local cheese for the mashed potatoes, of course, Maine potatoes for those Maine potatoes. And up in Bethel, if you were following along, that is the Butternut Squash Bisque, a great starter to this meal, so comforting for fall and winter, and great, you know, highlight of mountain flavors. We love Bethel. These recipes, if you haven't been following along tonight and want to cook them, are at tastemaine.com, and that, of course, is where you can also directly donate to the Maine Restaurant Relief Fund. Help some of these restaurants out. Help us fill this board with grant recipients. So by the end of this season, by the holidays, we can help out as many restaurants out there as possible. And of course, where we just checked in with those Hannaford experts, we have 4 appetizer ideas to get us through the winter months. I love those ideas. Again, an appetizer board can be a meal itself, can be a great starter to a meal like this, can create a fun happy hour for you and your friends to possibly Zoom along together with and enjoy some time together that way as we enter these cold winter months during this pandemic. Again, tastemaine.com though, to get these recipes, to help these restaurants, and to all our restaurant owners out there who are watching, you have till the 31st, till Halloween, to apply for these grants to yourself. They are real. We are able to give out this money. We are trying to fill this board, so please apply. You could be the next restaurant we announce as a grant recipient. And to do so for our second time tonight, announce one of those grants, we are very pleased to welcome back one of our leading sponsors, Hannaford Supermarkets, and their Vice President of Marketing, Miley Bucher, is here to give you a few inspiring words and also announce that second grant for the night. Miley, welcome back to the studio. We love Miley here at Main Studios. Good to see you.
Smells so good.
I know.
It's driving me crazy.
I know. I'm glad I come to work hungry.
You promised food, right?
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely. So, Miley, Hannaford Supermarkets, our leading sponsor. You support a lot of our culinary events around the country, around the state. But Hannaford is known as just supporting local. You are a one-stop shop for so many small entities in New England, really. But why was it important to you folks to help support our project here?
Oh, thank you, Sarah. When we heard about the Maine Restaurant Relief Fund and the Re-Up Maine effort, it did not hesitate in the least. Hannaford does have a history of helping people in need, specifically those who are hungry, those who are homeless, local farms, families in need, and so forth. And like Hannaford, restaurants also play a vital part in sustaining the communities that we serve and helping to feed people. And so it was an extremely natural thing to do. Restaurants also are such an economic driver in the state of Maine.
Yeah.
So not only employing thousands of workers, but also inspiring home chefs, also attracting tourists, so on and so forth. And they really provide, restaurants really provide the fabric, the quality of life in the state of Maine. So we thought it only natural to come together and to support with our brothers and sisters to really help bolster Maine's economy, really help serve our communities, and really work the restaurants in a unique and creative ways to do what's right for Maine and right for our customers.
Well, we appreciate the sentiment, and we appreciate Hannaford Supermarkets and you being involved in another one of our causes. And on that note, excitedly, we have our 11th overall grant to announce, which I will give you the honor of doing, Miley.
Oh, fantastic.
Drum roll, chefs.
I am so excited to announce yet another $5,000 grant from the Maine Restaurant Relief Fund. To Erica Pilati in Erica's Restaurant in Waterville in Kennebunk County.
Yay! Erica! Let's mark that, shall we? 11th grant overall. We are getting close to that goal, folks. Again, tastemaine.com to help donate. Be a part of filling up this map with us, right, Miley? Congratulations to Erica. And we are very excited to announce that we actually have Erica on the line to congratulate her directly. Erica, are you there?
I am here.
Hi, welcome and congratulations on receiving a grant from the Maine Restaurant Relief Fund.
Thank you so much. This is so amazing.
Well, tell us a little bit about what's been going on up in Waterville with your business since COVID hit in March. What are the struggles you faced?
It's definitely been a struggle. The community has been supportive to us, but the pandemic has definitely, it has hurt. We're able to thankfully stay in business. It's definitely come to a little bit more of a slow season for us. This grant it's amazing. It's going to help us in so many ways.
We're so glad. So entering the cold months, obviously Waterville is no exception to the cold temperatures here in Maine. What are some of kind of the changes you've had to make going into winter there at Erica's?
Well, we're definitely going to be losing our outside dining, which it's going to hurt. So it leaves it to a smaller area inside and having to social distance. It's going to be a little bit harder on us for the winter seasons.
Yeah, kind of limiting the capacity you can fit inside. Are you doing a lot of takeout and delivery for those in the Waterville area who are itching to know?
We're not doing delivery, but we're definitely doing a lot of takeout. We're thinking about bringing delivery in, especially for the winter months now that we've lost a lot of our capacity.
All right, so to all those watching, if you're in the Waterville area, check out Erica's. I know for a fact I have studied your menu exclusively. I'm psyched to come up and try the chicken and waffles. I see you have your own squash bisque on the menu, so you've got some kind of fall classics you're handing out right now.
Excuse, I didn't catch all that.
That's okay. Just you're highlighting some fall and winter treats on your menu. It sounds like you're switching that up depending what's available locally.
Yes, I change them up every week.
Awesome.
We have some amazing specials, amazing food going on.
And for now, folks should be checking out the current menu on your Facebook page. Is that correct, Erica?
Yes. Yep.
Fantastic. Well, on behalf of Miley and I, we want to congratulate you so much again for receiving a grant from the Maine Restaurant Relief Fund. Please tell all your fellow restaurant owners up there in the Waterville area to go ahead and apply themselves, because you never know. But we are so glad that we could help you kind of get over the hump facing fall and winter. So thank you, Erica, for being a part of Sunday Supper, and congrats again.
Thank you so much. We greatly appreciate this, and we will definitely pass the word along.
Thanks, Erica. Have a good night, and thanks for joining us. And I know Miley has one
too.
more message here for our audience.
I absolutely do. I was so impressed by Deb's cheese board, along with Tonya. Actually, 3 cheese boards and a wonderful fondue from Chef David Torra and Gorgonzola and Grand Marnier.
I know.
Oh my!
You can't go wrong with melted cheese on anything.
And I was trying to figure out which cheese board, appetizer board, I was going to use for this coming weekend for a small socially distanced gathering. And I swear to God, I cannot make up my mind. There's just too many choices. They made it way too hard, but also really simple. But there was a special ingredient in a couple of the cheese boards, the contemporary board, as well as the Alpine board, and that was the Prosciutto De Palma.
Yes.
Right? And
Yes.
it's like, so, I got it narrowed down to 2. And I just want to take this moment to say thank you to our vendor partners in Italy from the Consorzio. And I know I totally screwed up the pronunciation of that. I'll try it again. The Consorzio!
Consorzio
Yes!
Italiano.
They're fantastic support, stepping up to support the Maine Restaurant Relief Fund. And try out the appetizer boards. They're just amazing. But there's really good ones in there. I think they're going to keep me busy for a while. So.
Yes, the Prosciutto De Parma for sure. The Speck, which I learned is a twist. It's like a smoked version of prosciutto.
Yeah.
I am stocking up on that for the winter. And I already went back and got more of the Pinelands cheese, buffalo cheese curds. So specifically recommend those. But again, 4 fun themes to create appetizer boards. I know. So thank you to Hannaford, all their partners, Italian and beyond. And speaking of these amazing flavors we've been highlighting, let's get back to that Hunter's Pie, put that together so we have all these mountain flavors to create this meal tonight. Chefs Harding and Shawn, what's happening with the Hunter's Pie and what should we do next?
Well, it's done its magic. The flour, the tomato paste is really done its magic. The very end, after that comes together and it's cooked, we're going to add some vinegar. Like we talked about, this is from West McCoy, wonderful vinegars. A balsamico would be good, something like that, but anything that's not your standard red wine vinegar is me you're going to pickle with or clean your windows with or something like that. Sure. A little bit better. So just a few dashes. It adds complexity, a little acidity to cut through the richness of it. It is folding that right in, and then we're going to be topping with mashed potatoes when we come back, and it's pretty much ready to go in the oven.
I love it.
It's
Shawn,
really simple.
Shawn, you mentioned that this vinegar company is local to the Brunswick area. Little did I know that this was coming out of Brunswick. So do you know how many varieties they sell? I mean, how many things can you do with vinegar?
Yeah, about 7. I know he's working on a couple of seasonal ones. He's got a cranberry vinegar, which obviously is ready for our Thanksgiving salad preparations. I mean, I'm sure there can be a whole segment done on just what to do with that vinegar alone. He's got this amazing wild blueberry vinegar. Several of his vinegars are made with from Maine beers, produced right here in the great state of Maine. And it just has a really creative a creative way of not just doing the vinegars, but the actual flavors. So support West McCoy. The Vinegar Brewery is in the old landing, the air base, right in Brunswick.
Yeah, they're in Brunswick. They are putting more and more there at the air base in Brunswick. So I would love to have a taste and see how this all comes out when it is ready. I know you've...
We're going to have a taste of the base. We have another one for the magic of television, which should be ready for you. That is that.
Taste of the base without burning my tongue. Oh, you guys, if you are cooking along at home, if you have the smell filling your kitchen, you are as lucky as I right now.
The other one from the oven, please? We're ready to do a little plate up for you here.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Venison, who knew? Again, hunting season in Maine. We all know it. Wear your orange when you're out hiking these days, but
when you
it's all for a good reason to have some of this venison.
After you make your favorite mashed potato, you top your thing. Just top it with a nice 3 cups of potatoes, smooth it out, put it in uncovered, but put it on a pan. Otherwise, your oven will never be the same.
Another expert tip from the chefs themselves.
The magic of television. We have one.
Beautiful. Oh, is yours as beautiful as that at home, you guys?
Does it
That
look
is
like
just
that?
stunning.
So
what would you, obviously beautiful as that shepherd's pie, hunter's pie look, but what would you garnish that with at the restaurant?
I would for the restaurant, we'd probably put a little sea salt on top. We'd probably take a little more of the sauce like this.
Yep.
We'd go around the outside, give it a little fancy chefy swoop like that, and then some chopped herbs, some chives, parsley, rosemary, things like that.
Frizzled leeks.
All right, frizzled leeks, exactly.
Nice, all local, I'm sure.
All right, let's put this out here. You hold that in your hand.
I will
Go
hold
ahead
that in
and
my
dig
hand. I do
Me
not
and
mind
Shawn as
digging
well.
in. This is the fun part, right, folks? Ooh, again, make the mashed potatoes as whatever way you like to make them most.
Right.
We love that.
Everybody's got their own favorite mashed potato recipe.
Mm-hmm.
But Shawn and I are going to go right for it here.
If you want to taste, if you're in the Portland area, you need some of his rooms, restaurants open so you can try this. So again, tastemaine.com, donate to the Maine Restaurant Relief Fund. Tell us about your Portland restaurants. Are you planning on opening any of the three?
Well, the corner room and the grill room downtown on Exchange are going to remain closed until spring or unless something changes by a miracle. Just a spoon for you, Shawn. And, but the front room up on Munjo Hill, celebrating our 15th year in December, actually. We're entering our 16th year, so it's very exciting.
Congratulations, yeah.
To sort of commemorate that, but also provide sort of a service to the neighborhood. We know a lot of our neighbors are clamoring for it. We're clamoring to see you. We're going to be reopening for takeout only, starting in about 2.5 weeks, a little bit less than that.
Okay.
So very exciting. It's going to be a little bit different menu, but takeout only, all very safe and easy. We have a great app for ordering it online, that sort of thing. So we're going to start a few days a week and see how it goes and maybe expand out to a bit more.
Good to know. So folks, if you're in the Bethel area, if you're going skiing, visit the mountain room, visit the last run room. I got it. And in 2 weeks, if you're in Portland, you can go ahead and check out the front room up on Munjoy Hill. I love that place. One of my favorite brunch spots, actually, chefs.
Thank you very
So
much.
exciting that you'll be able to open at some capacity. This is delicious. I'm sad, but I do have to take a short break because we have one more grant to announce, and we have a special guest to do so. So if you'll humor me, pour out maybe one more helping so we can let Miley enjoy some as well.
Absolutely.
And folks, I want to introduce a special partner of us who has worked with Maine Studios over the year, but is a pioneer in Maine's food and beverage industry, specifically craft beer. You may all know him. I am proud to introduce Fred Forsley from Shipyard Brewing Company is joining us with a special message, and he is the one to announce our third grant tonight. So Fred, are you out there?
Yes, cheers.
Cheers to you. Oh yes. Fred has supplied us with some of his Finder beer, which is so cool. It literally has the Sunday River ski map right on it. So for all your skiers, one-stop shop. You can take this, put it in your coat pocket. You know where to ski. I'm going to have some for the guys as well. So yes, we are cheersing. But Fred, cheers. Fred, talk to me a little bit about, you own, Sea Dogs, there's Federal Jacks, and you're obviously, I don't leave anyone hanging here. And you're obviously a big staple in the craft brewery industry here in Maine and now beyond the world, Shipyard gets to. But tell us what you find special about the Re-Up Maine program and what we're trying to do here to support Maine restaurants.
No, I think it's fantastic what you're doing. I mean, so many restaurants are hurting, so many people in the industry are hurting, and it's great what Maine Studios and the rest of the sponsors and everybody involved that are doing to help it. And I think it's especially going to be appreciated through this winter. And one of the bright spots is obviously skiing, and Sunday River is one of my favorite places in the world. Started skiing there when there were 2 T-bars, and it's just really, really special place. And working with the team up there, Dana Bull and his people, and ultimately being able to put the map on a Finder can is kind of surreal. It's kind of a dream come true for Bruce and the team at Shipyard, Bruce Forsley, and the rest of everybody there that put a lot of energy into doing it. It was talked about for many years, and to actually have it now is really it's very exciting.
Very cool. So, and we have proof here. We have some backup that Chef Harding approves that this is the right map. It is quite accurate. So well done on the labeling there.
Yeah.
And obviously, Fred, you're going through things. You have restaurants yourselves between all the Sea Dogs around the state and beyond. And we're, as you know, trying to support as many Maine restaurants as possible through the Maine Restaurant Relief Fund and what we're doing at tastemaine.com. So I know you have been given the honor tonight of announcing our third recipient of tonight and our 12th grant overall, correct?
Yeah. Yes, it's Mike from Bath Brewing. So congratulations to Mike.
Bath Brewing Company.
Well deserved. And
amazing. So we are covering off on Mid-Coast.
Cheers. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Cheers.
This is fantastic, guys.
Woohoo! Awesome. So Fred, if you've been watching, you know that we represent each grant with one of our pegs here, and we're covering up the main board. So I am happy to add that 12th peg for Bath Brewing Company.
Awesome.
Fred, thank you so much for spending the time with us, for always being a supportive partner, and for being such a pioneer in Maine's craft brewing industry. So thank you, Fred. Appreciate the time.
Yeah, thank you.
And good luck to Sea Dog, Federal Jacks, and to you through the winter months, and hopefully we'll see you up on the slopes.
you bet.
You bet.
Cheers.
Cheers, Fred. Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you, Fred Forsley. We always appreciate spending time with him. So if you're up, again, cheers to you. If you're up at Sunday River, go ahead. There is he's got locations up there as well. Thank you. And super exciting, Bath Brewing Company, which he was just able to announce as our grant recipient, our final of the night. We have them on the line. I have Michael. And Michael, who's joining you there from Bath Brewing Company?
Oh, this is Peter. This is our head brewer.
Hey, Peter, head brewer. Love it. Thank you guys so much for joining us. And congratulations on receiving a $5,000 grant from the Maine Restaurant Relief Fund. Tell me a bit about what's been going on in Bath and how this money might help you out this winter.
You know, it's fantastic. Bath is such a great community. We are so fortunate to be here. They are supporting us through this. This $5,000 is just, it's going to help in so many ways. We're going to actually, help to pay our employees. We're going to try to do some stuff around here to sort of increase our outdoor seating, to increase our season. It just means a lot. I mean, it's fantastic, and what a great way to show support and help us through these tough times. So it's awesome. Thank you.
Awesome to hear. It's awesome. And tell me, as recipients yourselves, tell other restaurant owners out there who only have a few days left to apply for the grant. Again, folks, the deadline is the 31st. It's coming up. Tell your fellow restaurant owners out there how simple it was and why they should apply themselves.
It could not be simpler. Let's put it this way. If you're not doing it, then I don't know why not. I mean, it is so simple, and you guys should do it. And please reach out and do it. It's easy. Just make it happen. It's good stuff.
Awesome. Well, glad to hear it. Again, you guys out there, tastemaine.com to apply for yourself, to donate, to help guys like Bath Brewing Company out, to help the rooms out, to get these places sustaining themselves through the fall and winter so you can enjoy going to them through the winter months, enjoying their places in the spring and summer and beyond. They have to survive this hump. We've got to get through this pandemic to allow these restaurants to survive. So I am a Mid-Coast girl, born and raised up. So I pass through Bath a lot. I've been there. I've had a delicious burger and fries from Bath Brewing Company. Such a cool spot right on the Kennebec River. I implore you, if you're in the Bath area or anywhere in Mid-Coast, stop by Bath Brewing Company. Have a, fresh brewed beer right from Mid-Coast. Enjoy some of their delicious pub fare right there on the beautiful Kennebec River, across from Bath Iron Works, just to give you guys a sense of location. So congratulations again to Bath Brewing Company, and we're so glad you could join us tonight on Sunday Supper. Spread the word, right?
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, folks, so we have given out our 10th, 11th, and 12th grants overall, 3 tonight. We want to be able to give out more, and that requires you going to tastemaine.com, donating to the Maine Restaurant Relief Fund. And I think we should enjoy some more of this Hunter's Pie. Make sure to save some for my crew. They're going to love this. Thank you, Miley Bucher from Hannaford Supermarkets, Bangor Savings Bank, Oakhurst, all our other sponsors, all of you out there who are giving, who are about to give by going to tastemaine.com and donate, hitting that donate button. Thank you to Harding Smith of the Rooms, Shawn Doherty of the Rooms. Go up, ski those slopes, finish at the, the last run room.
Half-rain outdoors.
That's
and
a play on
offshore
words.
lounge.
Yes.
I want to say hi to my son Griffin, my daughter Dilly. He's got 2 as well.
My wife Jordan, my daughters Veda and Marin. Hi.
Hi, thanks to Harding's mom for the beautiful set decorations. We love it. And of course, thank you to Jessica and Brian Nichols from Brian's in Bethel. You know, have a nice day on the slopes. Go check out them for a cocktail or dinner at Brian's afterwards. Beautiful spot in downtown Bethel. And of course, our Hannaford experts, right, Miley? We had Deb Webster, fine cheese analyst, and Tonya Morris of the charcuterie department put together those 4 epic ideas for appetizer boards to get you through the fall, the winter, any happy hour do you like. There's options there for the kids. You can make an adult theme. Have a fondue party. Enjoy your Sundays. Enjoy every day. We've got a lot of days to get through facing the fall and winter. I know.
I'm dying.
I can't wait to dine more. So I think,
this is really good.
again, thank you to Fred Forsley for giving us some Finder Shipyard beers. Sunday River ski slopes right there, folks. Get your lift tickets right now.
Mountain room right there. Mountain room.
Perfectly pandemic safe activity. Skiing and then heading up to the slopes to get a nice drink
Right
and
over here in the
dinner.
far left, last run room right over here.
There we go. There we go.
Like
Harding
your
and
version of this
Shawn,
on the
right
menu.
there, making hunter's pie for you.
Maybe this will be on the menu, exactly.
Right? Get some fresh
Yep.
venison. Support those hunters who are out there. Wear orange in the woods. I'm going to have another bite because it was so delicious. Again, you can add any twist on the mashed potatoes you want.
So you could add, if you know a friend that hunts and you have some moose, or they have some moose in your freezer.
Moose?
Bear, too,
Bear?
would be fantastic.
All right, season 2, we're doing a moose dish. Yeah?
Yeah, sure,
Yeah?
absolutely.
Miley, what do you like? Like it?
Oh, yeah. I
Oh,
like Find Your Happy Place with
That's it.
Find Your
this New
Happy
England
Place.
IPA, so I'm
My
all
wife
about
Sarah and I
that.
say the mountains are our happy place.
Oh.
His wife's name is Sarah Taylor. I just have to point that out. Harding and I have a lot in common. All right, folks. Well, thanks to all our sponsors. Make sure you tune in again for episode 6. We are sticking in the mountains, folks, for that episode. Mountain Flavors 2.
Flavor.
We're going up to Sugarloaf and Rangeley for the next one. So grab a friend, have a Zoom party. Tell them all to join us for November 15th airing right here at 5 p.m. In the meantime, enjoy your hunter's pie, your bisque, your app boards. Thanks for joining us
Hopefully it
tonight,
came out
and
great.
Cheers! Thanks, Fred, for the beer. Cheers! Go out, eat, get takeout,
Support
get
your
delivery.
local restaurants.
Yes, yes. Let's eat some more hunter's pie, shall we?